Finally, the DW has come back to YouTube. What's up, everybody? What's happening? You got to give it up to the promotional king of everything. The Rock was the best promotional king ever. Well, beautiful Tuesday out here. I have the Bebop 2 on the floor, ready to roll. And I also have the new Diatone 2-inch, which I'm going to be taking out soon. I have 2 batteries to kill on that puppy. Suze! What's up, brother? What's happening? Yeah. So I'm actually going to go ahead and drop the invite link. If anybody actually wants to come in, you guys can do that. We're going to stream for a little bit. I know I had a short one yesterday, but I'm going to stream a little bit today. I do want to discuss the Mavic Mini. Is, you know, I don't own it, but I think there's a few things I want to kind of talk about with it here. Yeah, Ryan, what's good, buddy? So you know, Southwest Drones, what's going on, dude? You know, there's only one person so far that has made this drone look appealing to me, and Lord knows I want a travel-friendly drone. That's why I bought the Spark, but the Spark ended up kind of being just crap. It was crap. I think it was more or less a beta bird. Some people are impressed by it. I find that I had to actually, Cali Beauty, what's up? Irvin, what's up, man? I find that I actually had to alter and change my entire style of filming to be able to use the Spark in the manner that I'm used to, flying bigger, more professional grade platforms. The Spark felt more like a toy than anything, and I'm wondering if that same thing is going to carry over into the Mavic. If I do end up getting the Mavic at some point, the Mavic Mini, is it going to still have that very toyish feel, or am I going to be able to actually take some of the footage that I want to, like I get with my bigger drones? You know, I kind of want best of both worlds. I want a package that I can get, you know, the ability to film like a larger platform, more professional grade platform with a decent flight time, but also be able to throw in my pocket if I want to. That's something you're not offered with any of the other Mavics, except for maybe the Mavic Air. Now the Mavic Air obviously is still, I don't really care for shooting in 4K or having all those obstacle avoidance features or any of that, which is why I never purchased that. I wasn't interested in it. It held nothing that I cared about, honestly. I just need a drone that's going to take good footage. You know, the redundancies of the sensors for me really mean nothing. Like, I just don't care that it has obstacle avoidance or precision landing or any of that stuff. If you're a pilot, you're out to fly, you're out to have fun. I'm not a fan of people who go out and fly and just hit return to home to bring it back to themselves. Like, part of the journey of droning is actually the full experience, which means piloting the whole time. You are in control of your aircraft. You know, using all those silly little pre-ab dronies and all that, that's great if you're looking for a very specific shot. But, you know, these are all types of cinematography that you can teach yourself. So, hi again. I intend on buying the Mavic Mini. Good. Yes, yes. I don't know yet. I'm going to talk about what I think so far. Wayne, what's up? Chris, you know, the Mini's awesome to who? You know, what we've seen in the past, and this is what I really don't want to have happen, is this 2-axis stabilization bullcrap that's been going on. When you're in sport mode and you fly in 30 miles an hour and you make a right or a left, the camera on the Spark used to like shoot up at an angle, causing you to get really crummy footage, and you had to learn a whole new style of flying, you know, to use it in the manner that most people wanted to. Rick, what's happening, brother? I'm actually going to reach out to you on Facebook a little bit later here, if that's cool. So be looking for a message from me. You know, I don't know, man. I think the camera quality is really, really good from what I've seen, but there's only one person that's really been able to show me that kind of quality. And let's face facts here. It is, you know, a huge YouTuber. You know, most of you guys know Casey Neistat. He's known for making things that are kind of mediocre seem amazing. But we're talking about the same guy that talked the Karma up, and the Karma was like the most trash drone ever to hit the market. That, I don't know, man. I feel like the Karma could have had a good life it was just way too far behind in technology. By the time they took all the recalls back and put it back on the market, it didn't have any obstacle avoidance. It didn't have any of the features of drones that were coming out. It didn't even really have a shot at the market at all. So, you know, the fact it was also a massive platform for being foldable. And once again, people are upset they had to use a GoPro, just like the 3DR Solo. Who wants to use a GoPro? You know, I do. I don't mind it. It's fun. But like I said, these are all thoughts that have been in my head here regarding the Mavic Mini. I'm impressed and I'm not. You know, as much as I'd like to say it's a drone I want to just go out and buy, it's probably not going to happen in the near future. Maybe I'll see how things progress with other people. You know, but the camera quality from what I've seen, based on Casey Neistat, is, you know, really good. But that's because he's rendering most of his video footage in 4K. So even though it only shoots in 2.7K, he's still rendering that 4K, right? He's bumping the quality up because he's a bigger channel. He can actually upload 4K footage without being halted by YouTube's guidelines. So he can make 1080 and 2.7K look extremely clean. And that's because he's a larger platform. So once again, I'm halted by this whole thing of how good is the quality of the camera really. 2.7K should look pretty good. But you know, once again, most of your average YouTubers are not going to be shooting in 4K. And if you do, then you have to dial it way back. Or in Casey's case, render it up. So I don't know, man. You know, Southwest Drone said I'm skipping work today. So let's see what you guys are saying here. Just stop by, take a nap, showing some support. Well, thank you, Wayne. I have to work in 10+ hours tonight. And they can have a good show. I will. This is going to be a short one. So, all right, Chris. Sounds good, man. I know a lot of you guys are at work. I just came on here to see if anybody wanted to join chat for a bit, talk about the Mavic Mini and their thoughts so far. I'll post the link again if anybody wants to join. Arvin says, have a nice Christmas. Anyways, I mean, you know, Casey's known for making things seem a lot better than they really are, and to him, he might be impressed. But you know, as much as I want to say Casey's a good guy, if you watch his Mavic Mini video, he's flying over the top of people. I mean, he's like breaking all the rules still, and this is why he got in trouble the first time. Like, the guy just doesn't care and doesn't follow any of the rules of droning. He just does shit and doesn't give a damn, and that pisses me off beyond no belief. So, you know, I like Casey's filming style, but I think a lot of people aren't actually, like, he's not editing his videos anymore. Somebody else is doing it. So he has the ability to make these things look really good now. The rest of the people I've seen messing with it, no offense, Brian iAdventures, you know, looks like a neat little platform, but I agree with you, man. I think it's crash friendly. I think it's crash friendly. You know, and the range is not nearly as good as the Spark. The Spark, hell, I was able to take the Spark out a mile and back a mile and still have battery left. You know, 2-mile flights. I feel like the Mavic Mini is being capped at like 4,000 feet, 5,000 feet. By the time you get out there, you're at, you know, I didn't think that. I think he, in sport mode, made it to like 4,278 feet or something like that. And he had pretty much toasted the battery. Like, it was done. You know, in my Spark, God, I went past a mile out and I still had battery. Even though I hated the platform, it was still able to make a 2-mile round trip, which was surprising for a 12-minute flight machine. You know, so these are all things to consider. These are all things I think about. You know, I'm not just jumping into it because it's the new hype. It's the new Mavic Mini. I gotta have this stupid thing. Oh my God. Oh, shoot it into my vein. Shoot it in my vein. I don't have to have all that. And the hype doesn't get me. I buy a platform because I'm interested in the features that it has to offer, and I think it's going to do good for me in the long run, not just to get YouTube views. It's not why I buy platforms. You know, I buy stuff because I think it's going to assist me. This is about me. This isn't about whether other people, you know, my objective is not to make other people happy. My objective is to show them my happiness through what I fly and the things that I do. So, I mean, that's really what it boils down to. Don't just buy a platform because you're going to get YouTube views because you're the first person to buy it and get it out there. And you know what I mean? These are just, it's about you. What do you think, really? So, I agree, Southwest. I agree with that. You know, so no, and I agree. Even though he says he's not sponsored by DJI, can you prove it to me? That's why when I do my reviews for people, I always take a screenshot of what our communication was and the agreements that we made, and I put that up and in there so that you can tell that I have asked them to allow me to be honest. I haven't paid for the product. They have sent it to me for an unbiased review, so on and so forth, and then I always share that screenshot. Now, my last one that I did, she felt a little uncomfortable with me sharing my screenshot. I promised her I wouldn't this time around, but it is what it is. Snaptane doesn't. Snaptane seems to be an up-and-coming company. Hopefully by next year, middle of next year, they'll have some decent little hobby-grade platforms for people to mess with. But as of right now, they seem to be really hunkering down on the toy-grade stuff. So I had Spark from my experience with Signal wasn't good. I constantly, yeah, well, that's the thing. You know, it only worked relatively well when I was out in the middle of nowhere. If you have any kind of interference with the Spark, even with the range booster kit, good luck. Good luck getting past 1,200 feet. You know, it's just it was a mediocre drone from DJI. You know, everybody just got all hyped because they're like, oh, it's such a small platform. Look at it. Oh my God, I have to have it. Everybody did the exact same thing. The hype got the best of them. They went out and bought it. Some people were impressed by it. Some people weren't. You know, it's like that with every release. But I think if you really stop and just break down what you see and what the drone has to offer you, you'll be able to make a decision that's going to further you and benefit you, not other people. So, yeah, man. Nobody wants to join me on panel, huh? Surprising. I'll post the link again if anybody else wants to come on up here and share the screen with beautiful little me. If not, I'm going back to doing the rock impressions. The great one and a couple of jabronis talking about me on YouTube. DW will not stand for this. I am the great one. We can go back to doing all that, or somebody can join me on panel. The choice is yours. So I'm going to go fly the new Diatone 2-inch today. If you guys want to see what that looks like, give me 1 sec. I'll put the camera on. Okay, it's all good, Ryan. So there's the new Diatone 2-inch with CADX build. It's actually a nasty little rig, man. Brian built this specifically for me. And I got to tell you, man, he stacked it in there nice and tight. But this thing's quick. This thing is quick for a 2-inch. It's a savage little fast machine. So these motors are extremely strong. These little, you can just see how they click, 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 click. It takes quite a bit of effort to spin these Cobra motors. These are the Mamba system Cobra motors. So yeah, this is a very savage little quad with a good amount of hang time. You throttle burst this thing and it's heading towards the sky. We're gonna take this out for its first flight today. It should be a pretty savage little you know, savage little flyer. We'll see what happens. Is that Rabbit, Dan? No, that's not Rabbit. That's the Diatone 95. Southwest Terminator is back. Put that cookie down now. God, Arnold was such a his acting sucked, but he was the king of one-liners, man. That guy was hilarious. Hey Sally, remember when I said I was going to kill you last? I lied. I don't think it's the Diatone Rabbit, man. I think it's the Diatone 95. Okay, I don't know. It was given to me by Brian. I was told it was the Diatone 95, so maybe it's a rabbit. I don't know. I haven't looked into it too deeply yet. I don't think so, buddy. I'll check. Hold on. Yeah, looks like you might be right. The Diatone GT Rabbit, that's what it is. This is the GT Rabbit 249. It's not the R model or the T model, it's the GT model. It was the HD version. However, he took that camera out and put a Cadex in there for me. He wanted to keep the camera for another project, so it's the GT model. There you go. Now you know what it is. Southwest Drones. I have no video feed for you, bud. I think you just froze. Can you hear me? Can you smell what the rock has cooking? Okay, Ryan. He's like, I told you, bro. Jeez. Okay, man. Not that big of a deal. Just looking. What is up, my friend? Yeah, it just says Diatone. Let's see. Yeah, GT. Huh. He said, I know. Ryan C, D's nuts. Friends here just checking up on you. You look better. Well, thank you, Ryan C. What's good, brother? What is happening? Yeah, I caught you at the end of my stream the other day. Roland in the house. I missed you too. I bought the Spark because I wanted to try DJI. Needed to go hack the Spark to get decent range. It seems to be the thing. Southwest, you were almost in here. What happened, bro? You should give it another shot. You almost made it in, dude. Like something happened and you froze up. What are you doing over there, Solo? Oh, I got 3 doctor's appointments coming up. I got to figure out what's going on internally. I think my liver's having some serious issues. I still have the fluid in places there shouldn't be fluid. And Google not letting drop some dollars. I'm confused. Google not letting drop some dollars. What happened? StreamYards. Morning, Timeless. How's it hanging, bud? We're just kind of chatting to see if anybody's going to join me on. Oh, $2 from Ryan C. Thank you very much, sir. That's what you were talking about. You're talking about the super chat button. Sometimes it's flaky. I don't know what's going on with it. YouTube just doesn't care. They don't care anymore. I see the dollars. Yeah, dude. Yeah, YouTube is, boy, they just don't give a damn anymore. You could post a link to, like, yesterday's link. I had to get it cleared by YouTube. That's how stupid it is now. If you post a link and you pin it or you put it in your description, right, they think it's automatically an affiliate link and they want their percentage of any affiliates that make sales on YouTube. Like, this is how stingy YouTube is getting. They make you clear the link. You have to prove to them it's not an affiliate link and you just found a link and you're showing it to them. That's how dumb it is. So I put the link down and it didn't show it to anybody for the $225 refurbished Parrot Bebop 2 FPV kit. You can buy those today for $225. That's battery, drone, Sky Controller 2, and goggles, all for $225. And that deal is still going. But Ryan C with another $1. What's up? Yeah. But I put that link up and YouTube hid it. And then I got a silent notification, right? How stupid is this? I got a silent notification and Ryan's having fun. Thank you, Ryan. Jeez, so peace. Oh my gosh. $2 from Ryan. He's having a lot of fun with that button. Oh my gosh. Look, he's taking over the whole comment section with super chats. You don't have to do that, Ryan. You're good, man. Southwest, I would say give it another shot. Where was I going with that? I was saying something. Oh, I just lost my whole train of thought. I don't know where I was going with that. Someone will have to remind me. I was saying cool stuff. Oh, D's Nut says hi. Yeah, man, Southwest. I'm sounding a little better. I forgot what I was just saying. Oh my gosh. Let's see with another $2 super chat. Oh boy. Ryan, you are having too much fun with that button, my friend. Calm down, dude. You don't need to do that. Remember, every time you send one of those, YouTube takes 30% off the top. It sucks. But they do. 30% off. Oh my gosh. How are you banging those out so fast? It takes me a good minute to send a super chat. They have to like go into my PayPal and make sure the money's there first. And no, man, it's actually 30% off the top. If they went to 40, that would suck. Another $2. You guys watching Ryan here? He's going crazy. It's my connection, Comcast, YouTube with the links. Yep. Roland, you gonna join me in here? Come on, buddy. No, you want to? I'm going to go refill real fast. I got to get my Powerade in. I'll be right back, you guys. This is something I have to do. I have to keep the electrolytes going. I went from 367 pounds to 325 in like 4 months. So I've dropped over like 42 pounds or something like that. So it's a $5 says YouTube loves me. Yes, they do. They love you to keep sending super chats because they'll keep taking that money from you. Yeah, YouTube takes 30%, man. It's crazy. It is a bit crazy. I don't understand. Oh, okay. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to drop the link one more time if anybody wants to jump in here. Send. I'm going to go refill with some Powerade. I'll be right back. Ryan C., calm down with the super chat button, buddy. Save your money. You're good. Ooh, I don't know why it went out of focus. I still sent it $2. Oh my gosh. I don't know if any of you guys are weird like me, but I love fresh green beans. They are like chips to me. I don't know why. They're super sweet and they taste like a lot of winning. I'm serious. I could eat fresh green beans just like a bag of chips. I do have a moment, I think. Ryan D's Nuts says, you're the man. Absolutely, Ryan. Hit me. I know, man. I do. I feel like a stripper. I don't know, man. When you have really good fresh green beans, they have a very sweet flavor to them. It just tastes really, really good. I don't know why. Ever since I was a kid, I've liked green beans that are like a day off the plant, had a chance to mature a little bit on the counter. Let some of the natural sugars condense inside of them, then throw them in the fridge for about 2 days. Let them marinate in their own juices, and then take them out. And they're just so good. It's weird, I know. It's so good. Brian, iAdventures. I sent out your box today. You should get your new Tiny 6, and I put in a Fly Sky controller in there for you, a brand new Fly Sky controller, and I also threw in a trainer cord so that you will have that plus 4 batteries and a charger. So you'll be able to start flying immediately. You just need to go get some goggles, man. Good luck with FPV, brother. I hope it's everything you hoped it is, and we shall see. I hope to see some improvement quick. If you do, I may be able to send you another quad. Send you like a brushless I-65 or I-75 millimeter brushless. Get you started on micro with brushless and work your way up from there. All right, I've started a YouTube channel a couple months ago based on Game Rhyme, and I play. The channel is based around reaching out and helping out people in need. We just finished running a charitable donations to St. Jude's Hospital. That's why Ryan told me about you. Aha! I'm not a tree hugger, but I had some health issues and changed my way of thinking. Yeah, man, I've been overweight for a number of years based on let's see if I can bring him in. What's up, Southwest?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, man? Give me 1 sec to finish with Ryan here. You know, I've been overweight since my motorcycle accident due to inactivity. I broke my neck in 2 places. I crushed my lower right vertebrae. I broke all my ribs. Yeah, man, I was in pretty rough shape. I had to learn to walk again. That was a new experience after a year and 6 months. I'm doing a lot better since then, but you know.
How did that happen, man?
What's that?
How did you get tore up like that?
I got hit by a drunk driver on the highway in Tampa. Oh, and actually I was on 275 north. It was about 3 a.m. and I was getting ready to get off the off lane, and I got cut off by a car who decided to speed up ahead of my sport bike and swing it at the last second to make the turn. And I had to apply my front brakes at a really high rate of speed and hope I hit my back ones first. It wasn't slowing me down fast enough. So, you're just dragging the back tire at 80. It takes So I started to tap the front brakes in hopes of slowing down before coming into the turn enough that, it wasn't going to be a problem, but it didn't happen. So anyways, lost control of the bike, made a decision. I knew the bike was going to eat the handle or the handrail, the guardrail. Going in at 85 miles an hour, man, into a guardrail doesn't sound like fun. So I made a split decision. I jumped over the guardrail, let my bike eat the guardrail. And it just parts everywhere, man. So anyways, I jumped. I grabbed the fetal position, and I pulled my body in as tight as I could because I knew there was going to be a lot of rolling coming soon.
Oh, man.
And I hit about 7 times. And I remember feeling really beat up. And I was like, you know what though? There's pain, but there's not a ton of pain. Like, I think I'm gonna be all right after this. And then I hit the first tree. I hit a 6-foot palm with my right side and ripped the palm tree right out. It was a half palm from, like the half palm trees that you see out in front of like doctors' offices and kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? I weighed 270 pounds, so I hit it going easily 70 miles an hour, just tore it right out. And so after that, I'm fairly certain I was a rag doll. I went through that tree and just kept going. And I hit the second one, which is where they think I broke my ribs. And then I stopped on the third tree with my neck all cocked sideways. And I don't know, man. I woke up in the back of the ambulance in a neck brace. And that was in 2013-14. So ever since then, man, it's been really hard to take the weight off.
Well, you're doing pretty good, man. Surprising.
What's that?
I did something like that about 7-8 years ago. They didn't think I was going to make it through it. Yeah, I put a tube through into my heart, a tube to let the blood off. Like, yeah, I was pretty close to the same shape, man. Yeah, nobody sees motorcyclists, man. You're a target, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I just got me a Road King just a couple months back, and now it's like I'm a target every time I get on it.
Yeah. That's interesting that you, Ryan, see, that's interesting. You know where I'm at, Hillsborough County. That is accurate. And the county didn't seem to care because those half palms, unfortunately, are the ones that just have seeds and they just kind of blow. And then down the highway, those seeds will land somewhere, and then all of a sudden they'll just sprout a little palm tree. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think they planted the trees that I tore out. I think they were natural. So it didn't make me pay for them. But yeah, I mean, I didn't have any alcohol in my system, nothing. The worst part about it is they considered it a one-vehicle accident, whether it was caused by somebody else or not. My insurance company was not trying to help at all, in the slightest, man. I paid all my own hospital bills. They didn't cover any of it. At that point, I told my insurance company to shove it. At the time, that would have been Geico.
Yeah.
So don't believe Geico's policies. There's a lot of stuff they hide from you and don't want to tell you as a motorcycle rider. They can offer you cheap insurance, but they just take your money and keep going. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking of trying to turn my channel into a little bit of some motorcycle type stuff, for safety and, like Dan the fireman and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Ryan, see, so I'm not.
Drone stuff isn't doing so good, so I'm trying to find some other way to do it.
Well, it depends on how you put yourself out there, man. I have an interesting life. It's always got its ups and downs and variables, and I share that with everybody. But I also have a personality. Like, I'm a very outgoing person. You know what I'm saying? I tell you all aspects of my life. I'm not trying to hide anything from anybody. I'm not, you know what I mean? And,
yeah, that's why I've been following you so long, man.
Right.
Yeah, since the ups and days, man.
A lot of people start watching me, and then months later they hear me say something, and then they don't agree with me, and the next thing you know, they don't watch me anymore, and then I find out later on why, and I'm like, look, man, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Right. You don't have to agree with everything that I say, but does that make me less knowledgeable in what I do? No. And that's where I feel like people don't understand. Like, sure, you can stop watching me because I said something you didn't like, or you can stick around, just enjoy the knowledge that I have to offer, and just disregard all the rest of the stuff that you don't enjoy about it. But to get upset, to get mad, I get people all the time like, I quit watching you because you said something about Donald Trump. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what the nice thing about being offended is? Nothing happens. Oh my God, you're offended. Get over it. It's life. It'll happen your whole life.
The best reason for you being here, man, is just for all your tech stuff, man. Because I mean, since the Hubson days, man, that's when I started watching you with the 501, nonsense.
Yep.
And it's, if it wouldn't have been for you and watching all of your videos, man, I'd have lost that thing 2 years ago.
And don't get me wrong, it's not the drone's fault. It's the company's fault.
Yeah.
I think
agree with that, buddy.
I think the drones were a good thing. It's that their development team and their I don't know, man. Their R&D department was just horrible. They couldn't figure out how to get the firmware fixed, and then when they did start doing weird stuff, I started noticing some inconsistencies in the firmware. And then I pointed it out to him and I said, hey, is there any reason you built in this failsafe where if the quad leans to a certain degree, it just falls out of the sky?
Yeah.
But we came to know that as the tumble of death, right? It's when you know your drone is done. It's free falling from 300 feet, you know, it's like, and then I found out that they implemented that as a failsafe, and you know, as much as I wanted to show everybody that was the case, I was bound by agreements that I made with Hubsan that I wasn't supposed to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was
so,
shady the way they did you, man.
Well, instead, what I did was I didn't show you guys. I told you guys. I didn't make any agreement saying I couldn't talk about it. So I told everybody, hey, you want to find out how much bullcrap they're giving you? Take your drone outside, put it in ADI mode, and go fly aggressive for about 10 minutes. I guarantee it'll fall out of the sky.
Yeah, I did a bunch of the firmware updates, you know, several of those that like you had pointed out, and it did good for a little while, but then I ended up having to go, and I don't know how, thank God I got a friend that's pretty smart with the computer stuff, so he was able to get me back to the original firmware, and it's been fine ever since. But yeah, as soon as I tried to do any upgrades, it was nothing but problems, man.
Well,
yeah, I tried to do a battery hack, and I think that actually blocked my signal, and it dropped from, I want to say, probably about 600 feet.
You know, I don't know. I guess I talked with Shally Liu, who at the time was running the Hubsan side of things. And I talked to Sam, who was the CEO of Hubsan. And I said, you know, this is horseshit. This is horseshit. It blatant. You know that there's a problem that you've created. You haven't removed it from the firmware, and you're making people buy new drones when there's fall out of the sky. Not only do they have to buy it once, but then you don't offer them any kind of rebate on it or any kind of warranty plan or anything. You just claim everything as pilot error. That's convenient for Hubsan because there's no T-logs for anybody to look at. There's no, you know what I'm saying? Like my Solo and all my more advanced platforms, they all have the ability to monitor the T-logs and the GPS and everything else. It's all documented information, right? That's stored inside the app that I can look at later to find out what the problems were.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Hubsan. They intentionally do that so that whenever there's a crash, they can go, well, it must have been pilot error. You'll just have to buy another one. Sorry. You know, these are things that irritated the living hell out of me. So I called them out, and then they got mad, and they turned me into the bad guy. Now, Ryan, no audio. Why would they back a feature like that in the firmware? Here's what happened, Ryan. They didn't know I was going to discover it. That's what happened. Basically, they started giving me the ability to tamper with firmware. They sent me the Hubsan tool protocol. And let's see if he's back now. Oh, he's back now. Okay, we got audio again.
I plugged it in, so it decided to shut down.
Gotcha.
Computers, you know.
Yeah. So let me finish this question real quick. So basically, what happened was they gave me the ability to tamper with their firmware. I started going through their failsafe protocols, and that's when I realized that at 45-degree angle, there's a failsafe that they put in there, intentionally put in there, to cut the motors at a 45-degree tilt angle, which you would never reach that angle in GPS mode. The only time you would reach that angle is when you were flying ADI mode, because you could fly more aggressive. It would allow you a much more aggressive pitch and roll, especially in manual mode. So if you installed these certain firmwares that they were telling you to install, it came in those firmwares as a failsafe. right? So people were doing all these upgrades, and all of a sudden, all these drones just started falling out of the sky. It was like, what the hell's happening? So I looked into it, and like I said, I started going through all the protocols, and I realized that they had added it in as a failsafe. And when I reached out to Hubsan, they were like, oh, yeah, we do that in case the drone's going to flip upside down. We want to make sure that the motors are going to cut off. And I was like, that's what the barometer's for.
Yeah.
The barometer lets you know when you're too close to the ground or if it's already hit the ground. Then that fail-safe should engage. Why would you engage it when someone's flying at 150, 200, 300 feet? That doesn't make any sense to me, you know? So, you know, as much as I tried to get Shally and them to correct the problem, they were like, look, just keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy the tech support, you know, help us where you can and keep moving forward. And I was like, no, I don't think I will. I think what I will do is put you on blast. Yeah.
Yeah. With the Hitler video.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do.
Video ever, man.
At that point.
9-9.
Yeah. Well, at that point, I was still waiting to hear back about my partnership with the company that everybody was saying I should reach out for. So I did. And then I threw that partnership right out the window with that video. I received a message back from the CEO of Hubsan. He says, we saw your video. You know, I just want to let you know that we're, you know, we're considering your partnership offer with us, but you're going to have to show us in a more positive light. And I was like, so you want me to lie? That's what you're asking me to do? Lie?
Exactly.
Oh, no.
I meant to say, you know, that snap cane, for some reason, man, that thing sure does look like it's like a sister company to Hubsan or something.
It is. It's Textra.
Oh.
Hubsan is not the real company. The company that they're filing under is Textra Brands.
Okay.
So
I thought something seemed familiar there.
There's a lot of deception that happens at Hubsan.
Yeah.
That's why every person ever that has ever worked with the company on any kind of level has gotten mad in the end and made videos about them.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Angel Muna has just popped in. Here we go.
Right on.
And your tile says, who made the Mavic Mini look so good? Well, who made you an awesome droner? Because you're like the greatest droner, or one of the greatest droner channels on this face of YouTube.
Number one.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I respect Drone Worship. Me and him have known each other for like nearly a year, I would say, or more.
About a year. Yeah, it's about right, Angel.
Yeah.
I invite everyone, man. I'm not a
but with every stream that you do, whether it's something to do with your health or anything, there's always the talk of drones in it. And whenever there's a new drone coming out, like the one that says the Mavic Mini, you always have everything informed about the drones. When I don't know anything about them because I haven't flown one yet. But the only thing I do know about is TVs and cell phones. That's it.
TVs and cell phones. Well,
speaking of tech, who would be where would be a good place for me to learn the video editing stuff, man? That's been my number one problem with all my drone footage. I've got so much footage from my 501, from my Mavic. Now the Mavic I got no problem with. It's easy, but for some reason I can't find a good program to edit my Hubsan footage with.
Well, remind me if I'm wrong, but the Hubsan records in AVI, not MP4, correct?
I believe so.
So you have to convert all those files over before they're usable with most US editing services.
Yeah.
Which is why another thing I really didn't like about the Hubsan stuff. China trying to push AVI off on us.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, listen, man, I just started editing, 4 years ago. I just put my mind to it, picked it up, saw what worked for me, kept messing with the features until I figured out what each feature was, and then I started to apply it to my videos, and then, just time. It's like flying a drone. Just put in the stick time and you'll get better. That's really what it comes down to. Your first 40 or 50 edits are going to seem a little childish almost. After you do it, you feel really good, but then when you watch one 2 years later, if you keep up with it, you go back to some of your original videos and you go, oh my God, that was kind of bad. What was I thinking, you know? So I think just time, man. I use Power Director for Android. It's a service that costs $7 a month. It is a premium editing service for your cell phone or tablet. Totally worth it.
But I believe that you can use it for free, but there's the exception of the watermark.
Which, as a drone channel that's trying to put his name out there, obviously, I don't want to have the watermark. So yes, you're also guaranteed a lot of the premium features by buying the premium, which is what I need, like being able to run 2 simultaneous windows of each one having its own footage plus a main window, so I can show my screen recording up in the left, the flight up in the right, and my my GoPro on my head. So 3 cameras all at one time, all on the same screen.
Oh, okay.
So there's certain features that you have to have by doing that. So I think $7 a month for a premium editing service is pretty cheap. It's cheap.
That's well worth it.
You get everything you could possibly need, all your transitions, all your whatever. You can download extra packages for like $1. Like, let's say you want some extra stickers, like arrows and things for pointing at stuff. Those are all individual purchases. You can purchase a whole thing of stickers for like $1 if you want to, and that's a lifetime purchase. If you purchase those, you'll always have them. Okay, you just have to pay for the premium editing service because somebody has to keep up with that database. Somebody has to keep adding features. So you're paying somebody for their time is really what you're doing. Someone's investing more time to keep that platform going and adding new features, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just being a one set price, somebody's got to sit there and work on the system all the time, make sure it's always getting better for everybody.
That's cool though, man. As long as it stays getting better.
What are the RC Sailors about?
He says, I am in the middle of a drone 3-way first time for me. And he also says a little earlier, wow, I am on the #1 drone channel. Yeah. But sometimes people like Ryan see the way he types. I kind of like don't understand what he says because I'm used to being like in the sentences that is understandable. But if you know what he means there, drone worship, then I guess it's something that only the droners will understand because every single community has their own lingo, their own hip style of language that they speak. And I think the droners have their own drone language.
Hey, man, we just speak nothing but awesome. Right?
I know.
That's easy to remember.
I know.
Yeah, has a totally different meaning in our world.
Sean Brooks in the house. What's up, Sean?
What's up, Sean?
Hey, Sean.
Yeah, Sean, it's almost time for me to have new shirts, buddy. I'm losing weight at such a rapid pace that unfortunately, man, none of those 4X shirts are going to fit much longer. That or I'm going to look like I own a dress, one or the other. I'd look cute in a dress, huh?
Yeah, except for the beard.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. My sentence is not understandable, question mark. Let's see. I am in the middle of a drone 3-way, first time for me. No, I get it. I get it. It's you're not lying.
Check out my modded Hubson.
All right. What do you got done to it there?
Just some antenna mods, a little battery mod, paint job.
All right, show it to us. Bree Smith is back. What's up, Bree?
Stupid camera.
All right, now what do you got going on the back? It looks like you raised the antenna way up.
Shit. There we go.
All right, so top antenna 2.4. No, that's video.
Yeah, that's the video 5.8.
Mm-hmm.
And then see if I can get this better. Oh, my camera's acting stupid for some reason. See the antenna sticking out the bottom?
Yep. 2.4.
Yeah.
You must be getting some pretty good range with that setup then.
Yeah, it works pretty good, man. I've gotten, I want to say, at least a couple miles out with it, believe it or not, man. But I'm in New Mexico. I'm in the desert, so, you know, I got no interference.
Bree, what happened, man? I thought you and Mike talked. Did you email Mike? Huh. I thought that was squared away like a month ago. I have been watching your car videos there, Sean. Absolutely, brother. That has been happening. Look, dude, I got to stop eating these. See, I've almost eaten a whole bag. Oh, you can't see what I'm talking about because you're on solo layout. I've almost eaten half a bag of these just sitting here. That's bad. Like I said, I can eat them like chips. They're so good.
What is it that you're exactly eating? Because you had a Southwest drone on a solo display, and you haven't showed what you are eating on the screen yet.
Green beans, my friend.
Oh, so they're like a crunchy version of green beans that is like a chip?
A crunchy version. They are fresh, my friend. That's what.
Well, I hear a crunch.
That's because they're fresh. Freshly picked right from the garden into my mouth, sir.
Dirt sticks.
Congratulations on the sale, Mr. Brooks. He's been trying to sell his cars for a long time. That sucks you had to drop the price, man. I was wondering about that, if people were going to get upset that they had to do a bunch of body work to it, but it's worth a shot, man. I am not a drone, but heavy in technology. A couple of miles, 2.4. Is that possible? It's easily possible. Matter of fact, you can go way further. You can actually put 1 watt.
The reason I'm able to get such range is only because I can drive out in the middle of the desert and I have zero interference whatsoever.
Right.
If you go on, I have a couple of videos up where you can actually see the area that I'm flying in, and I get up on the top of one of these little hills, and I can visually see for probably 20 miles. You know, I can see all the way into actual Mexico.
Well, 2.4 has the ability to cast a really long ways. There's actually 1 watt. You can purchase 1 watt boosters, right? Powered boosters that can plug in. And even though the drone or the transmitter can only produce a certain power signal, when it reaches the booster takes that signal and it just amplifies it out to 1 watt, which is like almost 1,000 milliwatts, I want to say, but a little bit different. And that's a lot. That's a lot of power. So to give you an idea, my solo runs on 2.4, and with the 7 dBi antennas on there, I'm actually able to send it out like 3-4 miles. I could probably get 5 miles out in the middle of nowhere under just Wi-Fi and 2.4. But it wouldn't make the return trip back, unfortunately. I'd have to land it somewhere out there and go get it. I can only go 3 out and 3 back, and that's landing on like 4% battery with no hiccups along the way.
Yeah.
6 mile round trip if I push it hard, you know.
Wow.
So, but yeah, most people wouldn't do that. But if I was just a straight shot it and had a landing point miles away, I could easily do that and have it land somewhere. Somebody could change the battery, you know.
Yeah, well, and I didn't, because I've also done all the mods too on the controller, you know, for the get the extra range, all the antenna mods. You know, basically the same mods you did.
Yeah. I didn't see the point to changing the antennas because every time I did, I got worse signal.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, what is this? What is this rig for? You spend all this time pulling it apart, drilling all these holes, putting all this stuff in here, and then you take it out, and you were getting 1,000 meters, and now you're only getting 640. And it was like,
yeah, just getting those antennas outside of the controller was
made a big difference. I lined the whole top of the controller with aluminum foil to make sure there was no interference from the boards inside to what was happening with and that made a huge difference.
Oh, did it? I thought you had problems after you had done that and had to go back to it.
No. Once I moved it to the outside, it made a total world of difference. Inside, instead of trying to move the antennas to the outside, I just wrapped the foil around the antennas that were already inside the transmitter. And it ended up causing a problem because everything was still too close. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Once I moved them to the outside and then I lined the whole top with that aluminum foil, it made a world of difference as to how much signal I was able to get.
Oh, wow. Huh. Of course, I'm spending way too much time on a stupid Hubson.
That is the problem. It's becoming obsolete very quickly.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just with my Mavic now. That's it, man. Mavic, my little stupid Tello. Tello's a lot of fun, though, man.
Ron, that is Dustin Danil, and I'm hoping he'll come on my show here pretty soon. We've been in talks about it for about a year. He doesn't really go live. He's not a live person. I told him I had a bunch of people that were curious about him, and I'd love to ask him some questions, and it sounds like he's very close to making a yes statement to that. It would be Dustin's first time going live, I believe, or jumping on someone else's channel or doing anything other than him, his channel.
Yeah, you two are probably the two top ones I ever watched, man. You guys are probably the most knowledgeable that I've seen so far.
I mean, no, you learn you learn as much as you put into something.
So. Well, as far as drones related, that is.
No, I know, Ryan. All right, listen, sir. I'll put the fiber away. Okay, I can't help it. I'll sit there and eat the whole bag, man.
They're good, man.
They're good, dude. They're like chips to me. I don't understand why. I've eaten them like that my whole life, man. I don't know why.
A little bit of ranch.
You know what? What you were eating is I consider like a vegan version of Pringles. Even though those are not chips, they're green beans. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Right. Exactly. I do have a small pile of like broken end pieces off here now. I guess I should have stopped a while ago. I just don't think about it. They're just so good. I just keep sitting there and eating the stupid things. That's bad, man. Slightly arousing, no homo. Oh my gosh. So, Bebop 2's charged up. Diatone just finished charging. So I think we're going to take the Diatone Rabbit GT out today, and we're going to let her rip, Tater Chip. I got to fix the boat.
What do you have?
What's that?
Which Bebop do you have?
Bebop 2.
The 2?
Yeah. But we're about to do some work on the camera. I think it's out of focus, and a whole bunch of them are out of focus for a reason. And if I can find that reason, then we can resolve it for everybody. The biggest thing people were upset about was that, they bought a Bebop 2 and like, well, I don't understand. The focus point is in the center and everything's always looks good in the center, but everything on the outside always looks blurred. Well, that's because you're running noise reduction, It's a bent frame. Basically what's happening is it's shooting a 14 megapixel complete half a 360 shot, right? And what they're doing to give you 3-axis gimbal stabilization is they're taking that 14 megapixel big round image and they're actually only putting a square that big through digital zoom on top of it, which allows you to pan up, pan down, look left, and look right inside that square that it's creating through firmware, right? Linux-based stabilization, which is why you don't need an external camera. Even though it looks like it has a fixed camera, it's actually 3-axis through digital stabilization. So the problem with that is it's trying to take a rounded lens, right, and flatten that image for you and make it look flat instead of this big blown up exploded version, okay? And by doing that, they have to add in things like noise reduction. It almost puts like a checkered, small little square checkered blur marks. And if you ever watch Bebop 2 footage, wherever it's not at the focal point, right, in the middle of the shot, you'll always see the clearest, best image right here. Everything else that's outside that square, you'll start noticing the edges are blurred. Down here is a little blurred, and that's because they have to focus that image on a 14 megapixel exploded image. Okay. I think there's a way to focus that, and I think honestly the only reason they turned on the noise reduction in the first place is because of low light settings, right? The Bebop 2 does not shoot well, even with noise reduction on, but it does help. It helps blend the image better during low light situations. Whereas if you remove the noise reduction, you just totally cancel it and turn it off, right? It'll get rid of all those little attempts to square and checker everything, kind of blend the colors. And what it'll do is actually bring out the definition of the shot a lot more, right? The problem is in low light, that's great and all, but in low light, it's going to confuse the living heck out of the sensor now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it'll only, if you do the mod the way that I'm going to do it, I'm going to show everybody how to tap into the drone through putty and turn off all the noise reduction and all that stuff. You will only be able to use this drone in well-lit situations. No early morning shots, no late at night shots. That's it. You'll lose sunrises and sunsets. You're just going to be an everyday average user when it's out and it's sunny. So, but you will notice a massive difference in clarity of the lens. It will look extremely defined. Like you'll see finally, for the first time ever, you'll see individual tree branches with leaves on them, you know, which is something you don't normally get with the Bebop 2. By canceling noise reduction and refocusing the lens on the camera, you will be able to see those things. You just won't be able to use it in those unfortunately low lit situations. So I think there's a plus here. Number one, all you have to do is buy another Bebop 2 if you want best of both worlds. If you know you're going out and it's going to be a beautiful sunny day, which one are you going to take with you?
Yeah.
The one you've modified.
Yeah.
If you know it's going to be kind of a hazy, crummy day outside, you may as well take a standard Bebop 2. Just buy another Bebop 2. Have two of them, you know. They're cheap, man. You can find the Bebop 2s for, heck, we picked up this red one brand new on the floor for $86. Came in a box and everything. I already had the transmitter, so I mean, at $86, can you really argue with that for a whole nother drone?
Not at all, man.
No, but that's pretty much as a steal, because anything that is really cheap, that is usually high expensive, is a great deal to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now Bebop's supposed to be a pretty good one, man. So I'm thinking real serious about either that or I don't know. I'm trying to find a used 3DR somewhere. I don't know.
I would be careful how much you look into the 3DR now. Like I keep telling everybody, it's a DIY platform, man. It's a project at this point that you'll be trying to keep it flying as opposed to, you know, taking it out and just having fun every day. You're not going to have that option available to you. Every couple months, something else is going to become obsolete, and you're going to have to deal with that until you get everything up to standards of new technology, which, don't get me wrong, the Solo can do it. But for instance, I'm getting a lot of complaints from people. I bought a Solo because you suggested it, but it doesn't work with any of my devices. Well, that's because the drone came out when Android 4.4 KitKat was a thing. You know, we're at Android 10 and higher at this point. We're not running Skittles anymore, or, you know, it's like we're way up there when it comes to Android. Did you freeze, Southwest? Oh, I think
It kind of seems like he did there, Drone.
yeah, I think he froze.
Yeah, same here.
We'll see if he comes back in.
Oh, excuse me. I think it's all those drone chips that you keep feeding me, Drone.
That's all the what?
I think it's all the drone chips because the green beans that you were having, I consider them as your drone chips.
Oh, Mike B. Bree Smith is in the chat. She wants to talk with you. She was the last comment, almost a little bit up.
Do you know how much longer you might be live here?
Probably not much longer, man. The more I sit here, the more I want to take this little diatone out and just absolutely.
Well, the reason why I asked is because I'm going to be going to get something for breakfast here, and it's nearly 9 a.m. here in Arizona, and I'm guessing it's like 11 or 12 where you're at.
Mm-hmm. What are you having for breakfast?
I'm going to be going.
It doesn't matter what you're having for breakfast. Can you smell what the DW has cooking?
Oh, Drone. Just to answer your question, I'm going to be going to Del Taco because I often get 3 items for decent price because they have a $2 toasted crunch wrap breakfast sandwich, a $1 5-piece hash brown sticks, and a $1 iced coffee, and I can get a full meal for only $4.
That sounds pretty good. Ryan C said another first.
All right. See, so yeah, I'm gonna be getting that meal combo for the cheap price because I'm trying my best to like budget myself, and ever since I went to Del Taco and saw that they had the $2 toasted crunch wrap, I decided to see what the other options, and I kind of just came up with my own combo for a price that I enjoy paying for.
Bring me food, man. No, I'm not gonna stop you. Bring me food.
I love you, Joan. I love you.
Yeah, just make sure it's healthy, okay?
I know.
I need healthy food. Actually, I just ate half a bag of green beans. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find myself in the bathroom pretty soon. So, oh my, Bree and Mike, y'all need to hug and make up, man. Crazy.
I think it might be what one person like taking things in the wrong direction. I've done that before, and just like not worry about it, guys. Don't take it any further than it has to be.
Yeah, like I said, we'll let those two bang it out with each other.
Yeah, because I often take things people say to me in a bit of a different direction than what they meant, and I kind of take things a bit too far for granted. I admit, but sometimes you kind of like go like, "Huh, what do you mean?" And then you just have no option but to reply in the formal way. But let's just let you guys talk it out, and please don't make it any worse than it already is.
Yeah, like I said, let them do their thing, man. That
Yeah.
would be another first if you live the green bean aftermath. I don't think I'm gonna live the green bean aftermath.
Oh, Ryan, see, I love you, man.
Ryan's funny, man. Ryan's a riot.
I just met you, Ryan, and already you have a better sense of humor than I kind of do.
Oh my. Oh, I just had a stupid little yellow thing on the end. Little colorful, stupid toothpick. Well, I had to order more. I'm trying to do this damn review of this Snaptane, but I ran out of SD cards, man. When she packed up all my stuff, she put the SD cards somewhere. Who knows? They're not here. So I had to order all new SD cards. It's making running a drone channel very difficult.
Southwest Drones just typed in the chat that where he said, "Sorry, brother, power went out for some reason."
Yeah, I saw that. Everyone kiss, make up, and have a group hug, boys.
Yeah.
See, she put the majority of my stuff in here, but guess what? No micro SD cards. All scan discs and everything else.
Wow.
Unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. Then we got some new grass cutter props to put on the beef right. I'm going to take that thing out and we're going to put the new grass cutters on there and let her rip tater chip, because that's coming. But today is all about the diatone, and I did rebuild the Mobula 7 with a new frame. The only thing I'm missing is one cap on this side, but I think it'll do fine. I'm trying to figure out why we're getting whoop stumble. It might be time to replace these motors. We shall see. Seems to be flying a little on the funky side, but well, we'll find out. We'll see what happens. Do you take sponsors? Do you take drone requests? Do I take drone requests? Well, I buy whatever I can afford and whatever I'm interested in. That's how it works, man.
I mean, if a drone manufacturer were to sponsor your channel and allow you to do like a head of review before it's released, or give you one of their newer drones to test out beforehand, you'd be more than happy, right?
I review products that are sent to me by companies with the agreement that I don't buy it. They send it to me and they understand I'm doing a fair and unbiased review of the product. Okay.
I need to learn your method, because I want to try to get companies to try to see if they could try to send me and have me do an unbiased review, because I often try to get in contact with companies, but oftentimes they say that I can't, that I'm not qualified.
Well, number one, you have to build yourself an audience. Number two, you have to be kind of a very outgoing personality, which I think you have. Number three, you do have to understand tech. You know, you can't just jump into a review. You actually have to know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, but even if it is not a drone, if it's something like, let's say, if I were to get in contact with a manufacturer of like an Android and want to review the newest phone, they might let me. Or if I want to review the newest vacuum by, like, let's say Dyson, they might let me. But if it's a drone, then it will be something that I will have to understand more.
Yeah, I mean, I get offered stupid stuff to review, bro. Like, they wanted me to review some women's dresses the other day.
What?
Okay, I'll review those. Yeah. Heck yeah, send those dresses. Somebody was like, we want you to review our goggles and our snow gloves. Sure, I'm only in Florida, you know. I'll go find some snow, I guess. Yeah, you get dumb stuff, man. People send me gun scopes. And if I know a channel that does do some stuff like that, I will see if I can reach out to the other channel that I know, whether they're a friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'll say, like, hey, like Ron Lockwood, who was just on here. Ron's in here right now. You know, Ron does hunting and stuff for his channel, and he goes out and just, you know, has a great time and takes people hunting. And so if I get hunting gear that somebody wants to send me, or test a flashlight, or, you know, like, that's not really my thing. I can do the review, but I'm not going to be able to do it like somebody who's out trekking the trails every day and doing these things. They can take this flashlight with them and they can put it through an actual ringer test. So I would reach out to Ron and say, hey, Ron, you know, this company offered me a partnership and, you know, to test this product. Do you want to test it? If you say yes, then I'll say, hey, I have this friend that has a channel that does this exact type of stuff. Would you rather have him do it, or would you rather have me do it? Because I'm RC and tech related, right? I'm not really putting flashlights on things or using flashlights. you know. So I try to hand affiliate sponsorship links off to other people if I think it'll help or it's something they're doing, instead of just being stingy and like, no, I don't want their review. Sorry, you know, why would you try to send me gloves in Florida? I'll see if I can think of somebody who lives in a state that's cold that would be willing to test this stuff because it helps their channel and gets them connected with a sponsor. So instead of just disregarding the sponsorship, I try to find people to test the stuff that I know personally that could use the assistance. So that's how I do it. So here's the deal, Angel. If somebody sends me a cell phone, like, we want you to test your new phone, I'll be like, no way, but I know this guy. His name is Angel. All right, and he'll test it for you. Fun. What's up?
Well, I'm going to get up because I need to go have my breakfast, and it's 9:02 a.m., and the chat is getting a bit crazy, and I kind of don't want to reply anymore, but I'll let them hash it out, and I'll talk to you later, Drone. I love you, man. Keep droning away.
You got it, man.
Bye.
Later, Angel. Okay. Adrian, what's up, bro? I'm going to send the invite link real quick, copy. And if anybody wants to jump in, they can do that right now. I'll be right back. I got to go take my green beans back to the other room, and I'll be back in a sec. No. Out of focus, out of focus. There we go. Well, hello.
How are you?
Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, there we are. Now you're in. All right. Well, hello.
How are you? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear you. Yeah. So you actually need to pause the YouTube stream and just be on the net, the StreamYard stream. I'm hearing all the audio from the YouTube stream through your microphone. So you just need to go over to the YouTube window you have open and just pause that playback. Don't worry, it happens to everybody the first time. It's like a thing that happens.
Working?
I think so.
Good, 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 good. How are you?
I'm good. I don't hear myself talking anymore. So there we go. It worked.
Magic, magic.
Magic. All right. Let's see if we can do this. There we go. We'll spread the panel. You want it like, what just happened? The drone is a small concern compared to the high dollar crap they send every day. They are looking for wind tracking info for you. It's 10 below zero. How much is this dispute over? I don't know. So, yeah, Mike, what's up, man?
You give me a second here.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting a full panel now. We got Mr. Mateo.
Yeah, I just called about a fucking sack, and I come in here and have this little bee sit there and start attacking me when all this crap's already been explained to her.
What a great voice.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah, man. What's that guy's name? Who we used to call him? Mike? Sam Elliott.
All right. Bree, just let me go and wrap this up a little bit. Bree, all this crap that you re-asked me over and over again here, has already been explained to you, and all you're doing is trying to come in here and trying to make me look bad. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and type and type and type all of my previous emails from before to you again here in chat. So that's why I came on here live. Now, yeah, go reread all of your emails. Yeah, well, you're acting like a bee. So there you go, Bree. Okay, now I ship this out through my fiance's workplace because the shipping is so much cheaper there. They get a discount on it. Okay, now putting the shoe on the other foot, I think you got the drone. Okay, I think you just want another free drone. You figured, well, this guy's stupid enough to send me a free drone, so I'm going to see if I can get another free drone out of him. Now, this workplace sends out high-dollar amplifiers and attenuators and all this other crap to people. You know, there's 20-some packages going out every day. So there are at least 20-some, plus what comes in. Now, the tracking info got a little lost. No one expected, you know, they're still looking for it. But for me to sit there and cry to them about a tracking number for a little insignificant drone, while, you know, they've got business to tend to, is insignificant. I've done explained all this to you. You know, it's all in the email, which I can prove. Anybody who wants to read it can see that I've already explained all this to you. Now, your sole intent here, I did nothing to deserve how you treat me. Oh, except for calling me a liar there at the end. So, you know, I've already explained all this crap to you, Bree. Every bit of it. Now, you're, like I said, your sole intent coming in here today is just trying to make me look bad. And that's not the case. You come in here and you say, oh, I didn't. What do you mean I didn't win it? Everyone that was in here that night saw what I typed. I said, come in here within the next 5 minutes. And you didn't do that. You said, oh, my boyfriend won't let me. And blah, 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 blah. So 25 minutes later, we came. You know, that wasn't what, you know. But in the email, I said, I'll, you know, and plus in the chat, I said, I'll be a good sport about it. I'll go ahead and send it to you anyway. And, but I said, to be clear, in the first email, which you agreed to, I said, you didn't win this, and you know that. I'll be a good sport about it and send it to you anyway. I didn't have to concoct any story. I didn't have to send you a drone. I didn't have to do anything. Now, for you to come in here and start hashing all this shit that's already been explained to you is asinine. It's something a little bee would do. So take it as you want. Your crap that you're doing is going to do nothing but get your ass banned from this channel. So you want to continue with your bullshit of everything that's already been explained to you?
Yeah, Ryan, I'm actually eating salad. Somebody else asked. Salad? No, Roland, salad.
No, Dano, you're eating grass. That's what you're eating.
Adrian!
What's up, my brother?
All right, well, that's done with now.
No, it's not really done. I want to hear a response from him. Bree, I want you to go rewatch that video from that night. And I want you to read the chat. And I want you to see where you already know you didn't win. And go reread what was typed to you. And then I want you to go reread the first email that was sent to you. explaining that you didn't win it, but being in a good sport, I would send it anyway. I didn't
You
have
didn't
to.
have to do that.
I know. I didn't have to come up with any lie or any story or any, this business that this was sent from sends out a bunch of multi-couplers, a whole lot of high-end crap, which the FAA buys from them. Some goddamn $100 drone because I'm asking with a drone tracking number. They're looking for it. I told you, it just, the one day that I tried to get them to find it, the girl called in sick. Then it was the weekend. Their priority is not to find that. Okay, they've got business to tend to first. So,
hey, Mike,
every bit of this has been explained to you. Like I said, your sole intent here in chat today is to try and make me look like a bad guy. Now, especially after you called me a liar in your last email. So, you're not accomplishing anything.
Hey, Ghost, you got a second?
I guess.
Hey, Dan, do me a favor.
Yep.
Eat your grass like you were told to do by the doctor and let the man talk. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, Ghost, you got a second?
Go ahead, brother. Let it out. I'm with you.
Is somebody asking me?
I'm really new to this channel. I'm here to check out drone worship, but I don't know the dispute between yourself and Bree, but you're making
Doc, is that Ron Brown that's driving?
Hang on, you're making yourself look bad by calling a client or a potential
Don,
client
talk now.
a B.
You're not on timeout.
Don't his ass out of here. I'm not going to hear this yet.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a rough one here today. All right, Ryan, we'll pick this up a little bit later. I think other things need to be explained. Okay.
well, if Dan, can I chime in a second?
To her, I'm explaining it again. Her sole intent is to try and make me look bad. That's what she's trying to do. That's it. She's a selfish little whatever.
How much is this drone worth?
Got the drone. Now, I fully expected they're going to get the damn tracking number this week anyway, because they already called UPS to get a list of all the tracking numbers that went out. So the tracking number is going to come up. So, this has been explained to her in detail. Who am I feeling back?
Where's the
Dan?
Yo.
Dan? Joe Dan.
Yo.
Can I address something to the gentleman just came on line with you?
Oh, Ryan or Go?
Hold on. Everything's so small. Ryan.
Yeah, what's up?
Just wanted to put a reply to your comment, and I understand where you're coming from, but I'm kind of sorry. I kind of agree with Mike. In a way, whoever this, I don't know the situation or these people, but based on just listening for the last half hour, this person Bree or whatever, who's making the accusations, it's pretty disrespectful to come on to Dan's channel, who's not even involved, period, and then sit there and attack Mike on there and try and make him look bad. That says something to me about the person themselves, and how legitimate they're disputed. They should take it up with Mike directly.
Ron, I 100% agree with you, buddy. And a lot of what he's saying makes sense. The problem is that this should be done offline and not on anything here in the live chat.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, your volume is turned up so loud that it's coming back through your microphone. I can't understand anybody else.
Oh, sorry.
All good.
Who's Adrian?
Bad today, Dan?
What was that, Ron?
Is it that bad today? I said I'm on my cell phone.
Oh, that's why. So yeah, it's pretty bad, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I won't stay on long and disturb you guys. Dan, just wanted to chime in and say, hey, buddy, good to see you up. Hope you're feeling better. I'll be off the grid for a couple weeks and hopefully catch you in a couple weeks.
You got it, man.
Yeah, I'm just about home and gonna grab my hunting gear and head to Wyoming. And it's gonna be about 12 days of a lot of fun, man.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But
hey, Ron, this is Ryan. Thanks for your commentary.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just, I think I'm in agreement with you and with Mike as well. Yeah, a lot of people do that. They come on to other people's live streams and try to take care of an issue and attack someone when that's wrong, and that says something about their character in the beginning.
Well, let me just say this: if you could turn the volume down a little bit there, Ron, so I can get this out without the echo.
I don't know if I can do that, Dan.
Oh.
Here, let me shut the audio off a second.
Okay.
It's Adrian. If Adrian mutes his mic.
All right. Just real quick, let me address something here. Okay, Bree. I'm getting both sides of this. Okay, this may have been easily handled over an email between everybody, and I would have been willing to jump in on that regardless of my personal involvement in the situation. But saying that you're going to take it to YouTube, the only person that's going to affect is me, and literally I have nothing to do with it. Okay, so once again, I don't agree with how you're going to handle that. I'd be more than happy to talk to you individually with Mike and maybe sit down and try to get this figured out. But like I said, this isn't the time or the place to do that, man. Okay. My email is in every single one of my videos. You could have reached out to me at any point in time, okay, to have this conversation. So I do feel that this was a bit pointy. I do think that you came in here with the intention of trying to get people's attention. Not to say that I'm being a jerk by saying that, but I do want you to understand that that probably was not the best way to handle the situation. I've tried to let it resolve itself. I've been sitting here now for 25 minutes. We've lost a number of people due to this argument that have bailed out of the stream now. And I think it's time to just drop this for the moment. You have my email address. Go back a couple of videos. Me, Mike, and you could all have a chat and see what's going on. Okay, but I've known Mike a long time. I don't think he's being dishonest. Mike has always been 100% transparent with me through every situation we've ever had, so I don't think Mike is lying. Sometimes stuff just gets lost. I sent a GoPro to somebody, it got lost. I had to send an entire another GoPro to somebody, so I had to make up for that. It is what it is. That was a personal choice I made because I, man of my word. So I do what I have to do to make sure that the situation's cleared. Okay, now I don't know whether you got it or you didn't. It stinks that there was no, tracking put on it. I understand why. It costs more money. Everybody has their own reasons for things. It is what it is. But I think if we talk about this in a more civil environment where it can just be us instead of trying to bring the entire platform involvement in here, you know what I'm saying, and get everybody's weight and opinions, I think that's probably the best way to go from here. Okay?
Yeah, there is tracking information, and it's got its usual insurance at UPS. It's going to be gotten, and it'll be shown where it ended up. I think she got it, and I think she just wants another one. But all of this crap has already been explained to her in email. Every single question she's asked, including the fact that, what do you mean I didn't win it? She knows damn good and well she didn't win it. In 5 minutes, I'll buy you one of those bebops that Dan was talking about. And she didn't do that. She had a shitload of excuses, which anybody can go back and look and see that I'm telling exactly what the hell happened. But she did come on cam 25 minutes later, and I said, I'll go ahead and send you one anyway, because I had recently got an extra bebop from through Amazon for that battery that they were supposed to.
Right. That's right. I forgot about that.
And, so I didn't have any problem sending that to her. And I did. So, but, they get cheaper shipping rates at, my fiance's workplace. I said, here, take this, box it up, send it out. And that's what happened. But they're not going to shut down business just to locate a tracking number. They got higher priority. So everything that Bree's going to do has already been answered. She already knows, but just the fact that she asked, what do you mean I didn't win it? What? Your memory's gone? Her sole intent, Fred, is to come in here and make me look like a bad guy. That's absolutely true. I'm going to mute myself and get a cup of coffee. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Take care, Mike.
You do, Ron. Be safe, buddy.
Thank you, brother.
Oh boy, now we got 2 people driving. We got Ron and Adrian. All right, so let's, for the moment, we're going to change gears a little bit because Moreau, you popped in here, sir. What would you like to be called?
Murrah.
Murrah.
Murrah, that's an Irish name.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I apologize. You jumped into the middle of Warzone.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what was going on.
Wasn't quite
Bullets
expecting
flying.
that this morning.
That was pretty heavy.
Good thing I'm armed today, Dan.
Yeah. Wait, who else did we just lose? Who just dropped out? Oh, Mateo just dropped out. Okay. Breathe.
Well, I got a 45 under my shoulder. Jesus.
Yeah. Once again, Bree, that is something that you're going to have to take up with Mike. It really has nothing to do with me. That is between you and Mike. You know what I'm saying? Just, it's unfortunate that when all of that originally went down, it happened on my live stream. Okay. But once again, I made no agreements to anybody or anything. So it's not, you know what I'm saying? Do you get where I'm going with this? It really has nothing to do with me. I do trust that Mike sent it. I do remember he also got that second Bebop 2 with the battery. And that's why he was very willing to send it. That was cool that he got to keep it from Amazon, and I thought it was going towards a good cause. I'm fairly certain Mike probably did send it. He's never given me a reason to doubt him in the slightest. So, things happen. It's just part of this world. Not everything goes smoothly when you want it to, So, but I don't think, it's worth name calling, going back and forth with each other. I think this can all be resolved in a much better fashion.
I agree.
Oh, who's in here now? Mateo? Let's see here. Come on, stupid thing. Yep, he's back. All right, I'm going to use the restroom real fast, you guys. I'll be right back myself, okay? Okay.
Right, does anyone there wants to talk about the Bebop 2 to be brilliant?
No, I had one a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. But don't call me a fanboy, but I have a Mavic Pro 2, and I do like it. I really do.
Well, you obviously paid a good few more pounds for that now. They're probably twice the price.
Right. But, I've been into cameras and, I just last two and a half years in drones, but I've been into cameras for a lot of years, probably 25 years now. And I'm very meticulous about, the quality, especially like lenses,
Yeah.
And I was a wedding photographer for over 20 years, and you got to buy good stuff. The same thing, I'm a professional hunting guide, and all the stuff that I carry, is top quality stuff. I mean, people pay money. Like I said, I don't know if you heard, but I'm out in the Wyoming area. That's where I'm going here in about an hour. I got hunters coming in from Pennsylvania.
What part of the states is Wyoming?
Are you familiar with the Devil's Tower monument? It's on the very eastern side of the state.
Okay.
I actually live in South Dakota, like 20 minutes from Mount Rushmore.
All right. Yeah.
So I just literally get on the interstate and travel 1 hour to get over there. And I work for a hunting outfitter for, this is my 5th year. But yeah, we get hunters that come from all over the nation that come out there and hunt. And my job is.
What are you talking about hunting? What are you talking about, like wild animals?
Deer, antelope, elk,
wow,
turkey. Yeah. Out in the West and the Midwest, hunting is very, that part of the U.S., hunting is very, very, very popular.
Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people I know are against deer hunting. But if we don't control the population, it just makes things so much worse. And the reason I give you that, a quick example, is this time of year, the State Department, you know, the road crews, they travel up and down the highway with a 30-foot trailer and just picking up dead deer that have been hit by cars. And there are so many accidents on the highway because, well, this time of year is what they consider the rut. It's when the mating season is.
Yeah.
And the deer are just running crazy. But anyhow, people come out here to hunt, and that's my job to, you know, I take them out on the properties that we're allowed to be on, make sure we don't accidentally trespass on anyone's land, make sure that they're hunting safely. And it's pretty neat. I meet people from all over the nation, and it's a pretty cool job. I really like it.
Yeah. It sounds like it's so much different for you guys there, because guns over here are highly illegal. You won't see them at all, you know.
Now, where are you at?
I'm in Ireland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what you would see though is a bit of culling of the deers, all right.
Okay.
But licensed people only to do that.
Right. So,
but going back to your camera, you did the wedding photography for a while.
Yeah, I did that for about 20 to 25 years. It just got to be too much stress.
Yeah, I think they're stressful, all right. Yeah.
Because brides get crazy. They you know, they talk about Bridezilla. Well, they really exist. Yeah. But you know, it was fun. It was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, no, I did 1 or 2 myself, and they were very stressful.
Yeah. Well,
Here,
I'll give you a little preview of where I live.
Oh, good.
Camera.
Hey, Ron.
Yo.
Does this look familiar?
Oh my God.
Hold on, Dan.
That's John Wayne country.
I can't quite see, Dan. Oh shit! Speaking of,
Boner.
God.
Boner has arrived.
Mura? Yeah. Just what I said 2 minutes ago. There is a car with the front end just all smashed up and a dead deer laying right on the road.
Wow.
Blood everywhere.
Dude, this is awesome.
Wow.
That's why we hunt. But yeah, let me see. Dan, make yourself full screen if you can.
Yeah.
There.
Let's see here.
There he is. Woohoo! It made it safely.
Boner made it safely, and you signed Boner.
I did. You told me to.
Yeah. The Legend of Ron. I love it.
Yeah. But you said your mother said there'll be no chance, and you know what? That'll be hanging on any of her walls.
Absolutely not. She was like, "What's in this pack? What? There's a deer head in here." I was like, "Yeah, that's Boner." And she goes, "Who's Boner?" And I said, "Boner's the deer that was being sent to me. We were going to put him on the wall."
Yeah, he came from South Dakota. I'm sorry, dude. That's funny, man.
Yeah, no, it definitely arrived. So
yeah,
thank you
cool,
for that.
Man. No, there wasn't anything broken. I tried to throw a bunch of padding in there. And
I see that. You did a good job, man. It came out good.
Okay,
like I said, I'm gonna take it easy putting it back in here and redo the padding again because this is unfortunately not gonna be, put up here.
So now what happens?
What's that?
Where is it going?
Yeah, well, it's going to wherever I decide to move to.
I thought you were moving to the trailer.
Boner's being put on the wall.
He'll be a conversation piece.
Yes. It'll be drone worship and his boner.
Oh, man.
You've got Elvis and all the fun ones, man. I have nothing. I had to have drone worship, and this boner.
Well, you're part of the club now, Dan.
I'm official.
You're official, buddy.
I'm official.
Yeah.
Now that I've touched that gnarly deer head, I'm not sure I want to touch my carrot until I wash my hands. Dude, there was still like fur and stuff on the head.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't. I had them out in the garage, and I was actually going to boil them. That's how you get that off, Dan. If you got like a little, just so you don't get in hot water with your mom, so to speak. Go outside, you can get like a little, like a little Coleman camping stove or whatever.
Sure.
And take it out in your driveway and get an old pot, or even go to Walmart and buy a $5 pot, and just take it out there and boil it in water for a good half hour. And then as you take it out, you can, that stuff will just peel off really easy. But stick them in boiling water for a little bit. So that'll help.
Ron, I have a question to ask you.
Yes, sir.
What is Walmart? I hear this. What is it?
Walmart?
I'm always hearing Walmart. What is it?
It is a place that you go if you want to see a lot of gross booty and booty sweat and chicks that just wear strange clothing to do their shopping. And let's not forget the she-males. There's a lot of she-males that go in there shopping. It's an interesting place. It's an interesting shopping center. It brings a lot of characters. Let's say that.
So there's a lot of shops together.
Go onto the internet and Google the people of Walmart.
People of Walmart.
There's actually a website for that.
Yep.
And the funny part about that website is people will put a picture up. Some people do this. I've almost done it myself, where you're walking in Walmart and you see something that's really out of the ordinary.
Yep.
Well, maybe not for in there, but you take a picture of it, you post it, and then the funny part is the caption that you put along with that.
Right.
It's hysterical. It's not politically correct, but damn, it's funny.
Yeah, it's amusing, man. It'll catch you off guard. You see some crazy stuff in Walmart.
You'd be surprised. Be very surprised.
And do they sell drones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They do. I don't know whether they sell some DJI products. I can't remember what all I've seen in there. But they don't have Walmarts in Ireland?
No, never heard of them. No.
Really? Wow. Okay.
I don't know if they're even in Europe or the UK. I don't think so.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a big, gigantic. It's an everything. What they call super Walmarts. They sell everything from clothing to groceries to. You can get your car oil changed. You can. It's a multi one-stop shopping. A lot of the products are not high quality. But it's pretty good sometimes the groceries are actually pretty good. I've actually shopped for my groceries there many times. So some of the grocery stores, ones with the grocery stores are pretty big. yeah, it's but yeah, you're not going to find real high-end good items there, and that's the whole idea. It's mass production of items, products. So, but
it's sort of an upgrade IKEA, is it?
I think IKEA would probably be better quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's interesting because IKEA is pretty low on the radar as well.
yeah.
Well, Ron, you were talking about the camera lenses, and we were talking about the cameras,
right?
And the Bebop 2. Surely the peripheral photograph from a Bebop 2 low quality lens will be bad anyway, with for like going out of focus around the peripheral edges.
I wasn't necessarily saying that the camera quality is bad. I'm just a person. I'm very meticulous on things that I use. One of them is cameras. Two of is like hunting gear. For instance, I have a set of binoculars that are made by Leica. Leica is top quality glass. These binoculars are what they call range finding binoculars. And when I use them to go hunting, I can push a button and literally, like a laser, it has a built-in laser rangefinder. I can push a button, and within 1 second, I have a range on how far that deer is away, so my hunter has an idea. But those are $3,200 binoculars. I'm not going to go out and buy a $50 pair of binoculars to go out and do my job. Like I said, I'm just very meticulous and kind of picky.
So that's what I'm currently working on with the Bebop 2, is trying to show people how to establish a much cleaner, detailed, scaled video footage from it. It is possible. I can actually show you guys how to get in and adjust the bitrate settings inside PuTTY through command prompts, kind of like old DOS system. You can get inside and adjust the firmware through command prompting. Okay.
Right.
You can actually turn up the bit rate, which is what everybody stresses about. It's like, oh, it's got such a low bit rate. Well, they did that intentionally because of the noise reduction. If you turn off noise reduction, you bump it up to 40, millibits per second, you're going to get a pretty good bit rate coming through. It's going to have a lot of detail scaling in it. The downside to doing that is that you cannot go backwards after you do it, and you cannot fly it before or after sunset, or sunrise. So it's only going to be used. Yep. So you can make it look clean like a DJI. You just, unfortunately, will only be able to fly it in well-lit situations and get really good footage. Once you turn off that noise reduction, it loses its ability to blend stuff in the background when there's low lighting, which will cause it to have checker marks and stuff. And as long as everything is well lit with the noise reduction off, you will see some serious detail scaling, probably close to the Sparks level. It should have that nice, be able to see tree branches and individual leaves, and you know what I mean? That's something that you don't really have with a stock setup on the Bebop 2. You also have to remove the camera, cut the adhesive off the top. There's an inner and an outer ring. The outer ring will have to be pulled forward and back until you find just where the happy point is, and then you'll rotate the ring upside down to move the blur factor in to the sky, because you're not really going to be able to tell if a cloud is blurry or not. So you also will not be panning up into that. You can pan down, and you'll never have to worry about that blur ring because it'll be always pointed up. You can only go so high up with the camera. You can look all the way down, but you can only go so high up. So when you find your blur factor, you tilt that camera all the way up, and then you cut the inner ring, and you pull it out, and you cut all the adhesive off, and you get it until it's parallel, completely matched with the lens on all aspects and points, and then you go ahead and re-glue that ring on there and put it back together, and you should have a very good Bebop 2.
How you even come across that information is amazing.
Lots and lots of
yeah.
That's why I said we all start off knowing zero, honestly. You have to teach yourself.
Well, Dan's the man to go to, and that's the neat thing about Dan's channel. There's so many different people that come on there that have like all their different special. I mean, Dan's into the tech end of the thing. That's one of the reasons I come on here a lot too, because sometimes I just sit back and try to learn, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't even pretend to try and know a third of what Dan knows, you know. But that's his specialty. You know?
I like open source. I like dabble with things that shouldn't be messed with. Yeah. And so there's always room for improvement on any drone.
Well, guys, I am home.
But I think
I gotta change bags, hook up my trailer and four-wheeler, and I gotta head on out. So Dan, see you in a couple weeks, buddy. It was nice to meet everybody. It was on. Dan, I hope I wasn't out of place. I got involved in that little.
No, it's between Mike and it's between me, and I think it just needs to hammer itself out for those two. Like I said, I have no problem being a mediator. My email address is in there. I can do my best to try to, pull the situation, make it smooth for everybody. But I can't guarantee anything. I don't know how it's used right now, but I don't even know what to do with them.
Yeah.
I don't need the extra for sure.
Oh, I hear you.
Declan.
So,
Ron, have a good one.
Nice meeting you. Guys, take care, and Dan, and hope to see you again. And you guys all take care. Hope to catch everybody in a couple weeks.
Sounds good.
All right, man. All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so it's actually not me with the echo, guys. Unfortunately, that's Ron in his car, and when he turns up his speakers in his car, then it plays back through his thing. So, it happens to him every once in a while. He doesn't have noise cancellation. So,
right. So the important thing here is, I think, Ron was going for quality and all, but if I'm sort of a YouTuber, I do YouTubing videos, so the quality. You can only go so high with the quality. There's no point going any higher.
1080 at 60 is plenty. You're not, I mean, most people don't even have a cell phone device capable of watching 4K. And let's face facts, most people aren't watching YouTube sitting in front of their computer. Most people are on a tablet or an iPhone or a cell phone. And you know what I'm saying? That's just become our way of life. So what is the difference? At 1080 at 60 frames per second, you're never going to see the difference between 4K and 1080 at 60 or 1080 at 120 on a small, AMOLED screen or whatever, little HD screen. You may notice some color degradation in the smaller, resolutions rather than the larger format. You may see some pro tuning going on there that isn't quite identical. But I mean, not enough to really make me go, I can't watch this unless it's in 4K,
So the Bebop 2 is probably in 30 frames per second, is it?
Yeah, it's 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
So you can actually, I think, like I said, man, I have a whole. I'm probably going to be messing with the Bebop 2 over the next 3 months, showing everybody different things you can do to make the visuals better. And like I said, don't go into this lightly. You will need some advanced skills to further your Bebop 2 adventure. Some of it you'll be able to do yourself, but when it comes to like using putty for advanced key networking, basically you're getting in and you're giving it command prompts, and if you even put the wrong decimal or hyphen or anything, that drone is toast. It'll lock itself. It's over with.
Shit.
So like I said, it's not for the faint of heart. If anybody decides to take this trip with me with the Bebop 2, I can guarantee you probably some good footage within the next 3 months that you didn't think was possible or capable for the Bebop 2, but at a cost, So there you go. Ryan says putty command line. So, yeah.
What's going on, Rodney? How you doing, brother?
Your eyes really don't even have the ability to comprehend anything past 4K anyways. So I don't think it matters when somebody's like, Lon said, I have an 8K TV. Why? You can't, you're visually, you don't have the ability to process that much. You know what I'm saying? You'll never notice the difference between 4K and 8K. You just won't. I think maybe pushing the lines of 5K, 4K and 5K may see some variable differences. Anything after that, you won't even notice the difference.
Unfortunately, I think a lot of people are using the mobile phones to look at stuff. You know,
yeah.
The screens are so small. Like, are they going to see, if you put in a lot of work to making a video, are they going to see the work you put in?
Yeah, well, I probably will be doing some of it. Like Ryan just asked a question that I'm not sure what the answer is yet, because I really have yet to dabble with putty. I'm used to Python coding, so it would be my first time dabbling with putty. However, if I understand things right, it's almost going to be like DOS command prompting in a sense. He's calling it putty command line, which makes sense. But you're telling it to enact features and turn them on and off as you go. So, like I said, I'm new to putty myself. However, I have a good understanding of how these things work. So I should be able to move along at a fairly good pace once I understand what they're using and all that fun stuff. So
interesting, that.
Keep wanting to touch the carrot, the toothpick, but that skull was kind of gnarly. I just like, Rodney Bell, what is going on?
That was a fun way to wake up, I'm gonna tell you.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah. No, sure. Her sole intent was just to create some kind of crap. All of that, including the fact that I won the drone. No, you didn't. It was all, she was just here to create a problem.
Right. Well, Ryan, see, I understand that. That's why I said it's more like command prompting. It's just allowing you to interact with what the drone has going on as far as firmware. You're only going to be turning on features or turning off features. For instance, everything I'm going to do through putty, all the command prompts I'm going to be giving it is basically going to be to turn off the noise, the noise reduction. We don't want that to be an active thing. So that's what we're going to get in there and do the putty line for. So like I said, you're not actually coding or writing anything. You're telling it to turn stuff off and do stuff very, very specific to what the firmware is already. So yes, man.
Have you had a problem with your bebop all along, or is it just something?
No, it's something I wanted to undertake. It wasn't my drone to begin with. She gave it to me when I moved out. So now well, you know how I work. As soon as someone's like, yeah, let's see how far we can take it, I am on board with that. Let's see how far we can take it.
Okay, that's the other bebop that you got.
No, the red one that me and her got like 2 years ago.
Yeah, but you had one, I think, at that. Oh, that's right. That's the one that you got from somebody over at the neighborhood. And I think you rebuilt it, and then you got the other bebop with a controller or something.
The white one. I ended up selling that, remember?
Right.
Which I regret now, because that one was very in focus and took extremely good footage without having to do anything to it. I should have kept that one and got rid of the red one, but whatever.
Hey, bud.
It is what it is. Ryan is back. Ryan, what's up, man?
Hey, so when you finish your adjustments to the firmware, do you your optimal adjustments you're tweaking, do you then save the firmware out so that you can distribute it to your fans for the optimal settings?
No. This all has to be done through putty. Each individual person is going to have to do it. So I don't think, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think there's a way that I can,
you can't dump the firmware and then host it for your viewers.
I don't know if putty allows you to do that. Every person I've seen messing with putty really doesn't offer that as a suggestion. So I'm not sure that's capable of doing that. I could probably look into it. Like I said, I'm just starting down this road now.
That'd be cool, man. That'd be a cool offering to people who watch you. If you get the thing working perfect, and then you're like, here's the package to do it. Load it up.
But just remember, there's no going back. There's no way to re-enable these features without communicating with Parrot, and Parrot's not going to assist you. So once you do this, unless somebody figures out how to go back, it's done. You know what I mean? There's no going back. There's a couple people that have figured out how to turn off noise reduction. They've made a few videos, and I understand it. I've watched it a couple times. But like even they're saying, we figured out how to turn it off, but we don't know how to turn it back on. So once you do this, you basically committed to it, you know.
In your drone reviews, when you do stuff like that, when you turn features on and off, are you looking at what performance increases and stuff like that occurs after you make the tweaks? So like, let's say you do get the opportunity to drop noise reduction in some future drone. Right. Are you able to then tell that you've got a bump in like a mile or something, or a half mile out of flying, now that it's offloading some of that CPU burden?
I really don't have a way to test that. I mean, when you're flying, it's not like you have the ability to. Well, I take that back. On the Bebop 2 is very specific. A lot of people use the telemetry data that's brought back in to see if there were any significant changes. And I forget what that program is that they run where you can see like the altimeter and the distance and all that stuff at the bottom. I forget what that program is. But you could probably tell a lot of variables just using that software if you knew what you were looking for, I guess. But I keep data to a point. I mean, physically in this scenario, I'm not going to be able to really offer data. I'm just going to be able to show you, like, look at the difference. Here's before, here's after. Both of these were taken. All 5 of these shots were taken in highlight situations with my back to the sun. So you can see whether there's blur effect or not. And then these 5 shots were taken, same scenario, blur the sun, same location, or back to the sun, same time. You see what I'm saying? So I can keep track of a data sheet, but you'll be able to see noticeably what the differences are through detail scaling. Like, you should just immediately go, wow, that is a major improvement over what has been happening previous to this. Do I think it's going to put more on the CPU? Absolutely. You're upgrading you may be taking some off with the noise reduction, but you'll definitely be applying more because you're upping the bit rate of the video cap. So it's going to have to process that faster. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's give and take here, man. I think you're going to be, I don't think it's going to be overpowering, but I think it's going to be give and take. I haven't seen anybody have an issue with it yet. Like, oh my God, it freaked out because the CPU couldn't handle the load. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was kind of curious on how far of a deep dive you actually go when you start making these tweaks. How bottom basement level are you getting to find out how it's affecting the overall drone?
I mean, I can only do what's available to me, man. You know what I mean? I don't have tons of special equipment. I just keep thoroughly testing it until I come up with my own data, and then I offer that version to everybody as best I can.
I would be very interested in deep diving with your next project when it comes to putty and terminal changes. I think that might be some stuff in there that might be fascinating to you as well.
Sure. I'm always up for that, man. You know, it's not a big deal. Rodney with a $20 super chat. Thank you very much, Mr. Bell. You are amazing, sir. I am out of the hospital. If you really want to, dabble with that project, I will show you what I've learned so far, where I got my information, and how to move forward progressively from here with my ideas. I think there's a lot of people that have been trying things that don't work, and they're saying that they work, and I don't think they actually make any iota of difference. Just knowledge-based. I mean, like putting thermal paste on the back of the noise reduction, I don't think that really actually makes a difference.
What's the logic behind that? Why would that help?
And that's the question is, when it comes to noise reduction, you actually want it to heat up. And there's people like, well, it's getting too hot. Well, that's the idea of noise reduction, is that it makes it hot. That's the idea of the sensor. That's what it's there for. So if you're putting thermal paste behind it, you're actually cutting out the ability for the noise reduction to do its job properly. So once again, I've been through, I've been studying a lot of this stuff, and I have to say, we're not trying to cool this sensor off. We're trying to make it hotter. The hotter it is, the better it's actually going to do. So, whereas with something like an X box, remember the old X clamps kit you had to do where you had to redo the thermal paste on the X clamps kit because it was overheating? That was the idea.
Well, that was an overheating issue.
Right. And that was the overheating issue. Was the only way to cool that off was to redo the thermal paste and add the X box clamp kit. Well, in this scenario, we don't want that. So I don't know why these people are like, yeah, just put thermal paste and it'll solve everything. I don't think it will. I think you're actually going to make your situation worse. So, but you can't tell these people anything, man. They don't want to listen. So I think the best thing I can do is just try to do my best, show you what works and what doesn't, and then offer my, information and data that I've come up with over time. So.
Interesting.
Big Troll, what's up? I'm doing good at work at the moment, enjoying my lunch break. Oh, that does sound good. All I've had so far since I woke up is vegetables, and now it's lunchtime. I think I'm gonna do tilapia. Fish sounds good, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I love fish. Are you a fan of fish? Anybody on panel? Fish?
I will tear a fish up right now, man. I'm hungry. Watching you eat green beans got me to where I needed to be.
Oh yeah. Big D Troll, that's a good question. I'm gonna tell you to make your way over to Jeff Sills' channel. Jeff Sills, S-I-L-L-S, Jeff. There's a space in there, Jeff Sills. Make your way over there, tell him Drone Worship sent you. You have Mavic 2 repair questions, and he will answer them for you.
I would like to throw in this into the pot as well. I haven't really upgraded drones to Mavericks or anything like that, because I honestly can't see myself getting good as some people are at flying drones. They're just so good at flying drones. I still find myself make silly mistakes.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be doing it with anything expensive, because I am sort of a person who likes to take risks. I like flying low, especially over the sea and all that. I go down to about 1 meter and just keep skipping across. But I still see myself doing under stress and make a mistake.
Right. Are you getting any anxiety in your fingers? What I mean by that is twitch. You'll start doing something and then you'll get a little like thumb twitch going on or something like that. You got any of that?
No, I don't have any problem with that. Where a problem is I might make a left turn instead of a right turn when the drone was facing me or something like that,
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's the hardest part is orientation, I think, for people coming at yourself. You always have to remember, if you want to go left while you're coming at yourself, you always go right with the stick.
And that's still very basic stuff. All this time later, that's basic stuff, but still get myself caught out,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people that transitioned into drones that actually used to do stuff like drive RC cars probably had a much easier time figuring out orientation because it's all reverse functionality when you come back at yourself. Same thing with airplanes and helicopters. But with airplanes and helicopters, normally you go out and you do a big loop and then you come back around. So that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Or an airplane is kind of up, loop, and then you go off in the distance, you come back around an arc, and then you do a trick, and then you come back an arc. I think the best analogy for orientation is, RC cars or boats, RC cars and boats, because it's always reverse controls when you're staring at yourself right or left,
So, but you probably did a lot of gaming through your life.
Yeah, well, I always played first person, so I was always getting the FPV perspective of my character. So
gaming helps a lot.
It did, yeah.
Yeah. So look, I've still got great footage out of the Bebop 2, and I think it's a great little drone. I'm sorry that they've given up on it now. But
you actually brought up a good point, sir. In regards to video games, I think that it improves reaction time so much that I would say that if you're having those problems, and I'm not a drone expert by any means, so shoot me down if you disagree, but they have virtual reality or actual video game apps for drone simulation flying. So if you like to get low and tight, it might be good to experience that through a video game. I know a couple manufacturers actually developed their own software so that you can go and fly on the computer before you go destroy the drone. And I found that to be an excellent first step. Even though you're well past the first step, it may get some of those muscle reflexes toned up.
I do find that flying acro in the simulator, like these little, brushless birds or my 5-inch or any of my micros, those are all full manual flyers. You have control of pitch and roll the whole time yourself. I do see the freedom in flying like that. It's a lot more fun, but it also took almost 2 years to understand the physics of how that type of flying works. You know, when you fly GPS, it's different. You just push forward on the stick and it goes forward and it holds its altitude and that's it. You forward on the stick. You're not really doing much. It's doing everything for you. You know, when you switch over to something like a manual flying quad, it's a world of difference.
Yeah.
It just.
How do you relate that to a helicopter? I started out with helicopters.
See, and I never really got into helicopters. I always liked multi-rotor over dual rotor setups. I don't know, man. I don't know. I couldn't get into helicopters, even though they're really.
Well, I'm talking about in terms of flying difficulty.
Oh, well, helicopters are way more difficult to fly. Hands down, ridiculously difficult. Especially if you're flying like acrobatics helicopters. Oh my God, I have no idea how those guys do half the stuff they do with those helicopters. It doesn't even, my brain doesn't comprehend the movements that are taking place. These people do it so fast, you know? Have you ever seen any real good stunt copter pilots?
I can't say I have.
Just go on YouTube and look up RC stunt helicopter pilot, best in the world, and just watch some of that guy's videos. Your mind will have.
I've seen some of that. That's amazing.
It is. It totally is. Matter of fact, here. Let's do this. Damn, it's getting windy up. What's going on out there? Let's do this. Come on.
The wind is blowing pretty hard.
Let's see. RC.
But that's how I learned how to fly helicopters, was through the software included with a lot of the manufacturers' drone or equipment that I bought. So that helped.
That's a good idea, all right. Yeah, it's a good idea. Not sure if I'd have a huge interest in it, because I do like getting out and, I don't know, trying it. But definitely in the winter's nice, not a bad idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. This guy's absolutely ridiculous. I have no idea who this person is, but we're gonna screen share his incredible flying. Okay, wow, new screen sharing. Hold on a sec. Between two monitors. Screen share works best on computers. Do not show this tip again. Thank you. Share screen. Okay, you guys should be able to see. You can see.
Yeah, got it.
I don't know how well this is going to work, but this is ridiculous. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about, where I can't even fathom how people like this can fly and understand orientation the whole time. This is somebody who knows how to play big time. Very good behind the stick controls.
Yeah, there's no way.
I bet he's gone through a few wrecks.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's
serious practice.
Well, what's really sad is when you push one of these too hard and the gyro gets even out of whack in the slightest from being tossed around, it'll just explode into pieces. And he's average. He's not even like great. Like I've seen people 50 times better than this. But even now, like this guy probably has been flying for years and years. You know, I don't understand the physics of what's happening here, honestly. So good luck with all that, right?
Jesus. I think I'm dizzy.
Yeah, motion sickness.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh my God. He's clearly never had a job. Actually, he probably works at a hobby shop if he's flying that good, I would assume.
I must think, though, I'd have more fun doing the videoing with whatever you're flying. That I love seeing the finished product of a video shoot, whatever you may try and get through or under, more so than the sake of just flying on its own.
Right. So, say that one more time, man. I think I missed the.
I like not just the flying of the drone,
right?
But the videoing and making a YouTube video, say. So at the end of it, you have a product, so to speak. You know.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think getting into drones is, everybody's gonna have their differences. I don't know. Are you probably got into it for photography purposes, correct?
Yeah.
You didn't really get into it for advanced flying skill sets or anything cinematography, flying fast under bridges and ripping up over the top of them, and And see, I guess for me, I enjoy both aspects. I like being able to do that. I think it gives you a good sense of the hobby that you're in if you try to test all the different phases of it, as opposed to just saying, well, this is all I want to stick with. This is what I'm just going to go with.
Yeah.
I kind of like being able to touch on each individual one. It makes me more knowledgeable as I go, and it helps me with my understanding of each part of the hobby. You know what I'm saying? And I have respect for a lot of these guys that build these things, man. As much as I'd like to say this is simple to do, building these little race quads and stuff requires a lot of time-consuming effort and knowledge. Getting in and tuning these with things like beta flight and getting them set up exactly like you, binding the transmitters. There's a whole different world when it comes to these little open source platforms that I think GPS people take for granted, and proprietary drone pilots don't understand that side of things. You know what I mean?
Well, I find with the drones, especially the old saying, the jack of all trades, the master of none. If I start deflecting off just the one thing, I know I'll be good at nothing. So
right.
I'm sticking with the videography end of it.
Sure. Like I said, everybody's got their own little thing. Everybody enjoys what they enjoy out of it. I also think FPV is not for everybody. Hand-eye coordination starts going out the window, I think, after about 45 or so. You start losing that ability to, you know what I'm saying? That's why I have friends that are, in their early 60s, and as much as they would like to fly like some of these younger guys, they tell me constantly, like, hey, I just don't have the, I think I'm at my visual line of sight capability as it is flying, and they're only going like 30 miles an hour. A lot of these guys are ripping at 80, 70 miles an hour through trees and branches. And so I think, like I said, each part of droning offers you a little bit different sensation and you know what I'm saying, scenario. But I do think everybody should try all of it. If you can, give it a go, man. You may find out you've been, and this happens often, GPS pilots thought that's the best of the world, and then they get into these little, FPV quads, and the next thing you know, they've given up completely on GPS and gone straight FPV. So it really just depends. You can get really stable footage out of one of these. You can put a GPS on it all you want to. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing stopping you from making this GPS and full manual. You'll add a little weight characteristic to it. You're not going to be getting 15-minute flight times, but you'll still have best of both worlds.
Well, the only thing there, what I'd be worried about is one of my videos I did flying through a wind turbine. I'm telling you, I was talking about being stressed. I think I was going to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
It was distressful. I'll never do it again. Too stressful. Okay, maybe it might have been easier with the race drone or something because the GP or the Bebop 2 would be quite slow. But I did it anyway, and it's amazing. I can't believe how stressful it is.
Once you put these on, your stress level increases tenfold. The moment you realize the only way you can see what the drone is doing is through cockpit view like this, you immediately start going, oh my God, this is really, really uncomfortable. You know, I remember when I first got started and I had my goggles on, the first time I crashed, I felt like I hit the tree. I was like, and then I realized like, oh, I'm just in the goggles. You know, but it made me flinch. I was in depth into the flight that I actually felt like I was going to hit a tree. You know, the drone didn't survive. It was pretty cracked up, and I broke a bunch of pieces on it. But you learn from your mistakes. I also used to tilt my head when I'd have my goggles on when I'd be flying. For some reason, my brain just thinks that if I lean my head with the turn, it makes a difference. It doesn't.
Didn't you have some kind of claustrophobia or something about wearing goggles at first, but you got over it?
Yeah. So when I did when I first got into it, man, I thought I was just gonna hate it. I thought I was gonna absolutely hate it. I couldn't get past the goggles, man. The goggles are really screwing with me. And then I tried some box goggles. I got these big fat box goggles, and I put those on. And instead of being in like a massive cockpit view, it's still a cockpit view, but it made it feel more like I was in a movie theater. And that kind of changed everything for me. You know, I realized I wasn't part of the drone flight. I was, but I wasn't. Like, I'm not losing myself to the flight. I'm having fun and I'm still making the stick controls, but I realized that I don't need to be leaning my head anymore. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think that's a motorbiker thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hitting the turn on the bike, your head twitches.
Yep. You know,
drop a link in case Steve or anybody wants to come in.
Oh yeah, I mean we can do that. Let's see here.
No, I tried on some of those goggles that you play games with or something, or put your phone in it.
Mm-hmm.
I got it with my Samsung phone or something, and I would find myself doing that kind of thing with that. You know, would be leaning my head one direction or the other, trying to avoid something, or it just as though I was in the game itself. So I can imagine flying a drone, it would be even worse.
I think that's a really good question, Southwest Drone, Fat Shark or Amway. I honestly think Fat Sharks are a bit overpriced for what you get. I get it. Some people are diehard. Well, you can change the receivers and you can do all that. Listen, man, if I can see what my drone sees, I don't need all that extra bull crap to screw me up with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people overdo it. Now, maybe if you were getting into like freestyle and you were always constantly surrounded by other people, there may be a reason for those upgrades because you may need to have a more powerful receiver. You may be, but if you're just out having fun yourself or maybe with a couple friends, I don't think you need the Fat Sharks. This does everything I need it to. SD card, DVR, HDMI. I can watch the playback through the goggles. I mean, it does everything I need it to, and it feels good. It's got great signal. It also has a little fan, which is cool. A lot of the Fat Sharks don't have that, so when it's on your face and it's hot out, it doesn't like fog up the lenses. You can turn the little fan on. It'll suck all the hot air away from your eyes so that it doesn't fog up the lens while you're flying. Like, there are aspects to Amway that I like over Fat Shark, but like I said, you're not changing the receivers on the this one anyways. These are the Commander V1s. I know they have the version 2s out now, and you can probably make some adjustments, but still, these are $260 goggles as they sit right now. So, I don't plan on upgrading anytime soon. They fit my needs. So I think most people probably are Fat Shark fans. I just don't see the reason to unless I'm going to be flying with a ton of other pilots and I need more channels available to me on my receiver. That's the only time I think I'd care about it. So that's really the big differences that I see.
Did you ever try the goggles with the Bebop 2? If they register at all, do they?
It's an interesting sensation. Yeah, I do like flying that way, but I will tell you what, it's uncomfortable when you start losing signal because you want to immediately go, oh my God, I can't see. Then you want to take them off your head to see where it's at. There it is. Okay. Pull them back down. But yeah, I mean, the Bebop 2 catches you off guard because things look a lot further away than they really are. I could have it 5 inches or 5 feet from my face, and it would look like it was 12 or 13 feet back. You know what I'm saying?
You can adjust that in the app.
Yeah, well, but I don't like to because I like the exploded image that it gives me. You start zooming that in too much, and then you really start seeing the noise buffer.
Really do, yeah.
Yeah, I try to avoid that. The less you condense that video, the better off it is.
Yeah.
So.
I found it was pixelated enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Were the Ishin goggles any good? Oh, yeah, the Pros, the version 2 Pros, those were pretty good. Once again, we're talking about box goggles, so it's a different experience than these. Look, man. Here's the deal. I think everybody should start off with box goggles and work their way up. These are not for everybody. I'm going to tell you that now. It took me a long time for my eyes to adjust to these goggles. You're taking 2 images and you're blending it into 1 image that both eyes are seeing. You see what I'm saying? And that's hard for people to do, especially if you have diopters or eye problems already. Whereas with box goggles, it's one large screen that's mirrored and magnified, right? So that you don't have to try to get both eyes to focus on 2 images pulling into 1. So these low profile goggles are great, but like I said, they're not for everybody. I would say test your friends first before you go out and buy an investment like this.
I don't have any friends.
Just go to a drone meet. There's an app called Meetup. It's worldwide.
Oh, I know it, yeah.
Yeah. So, John Moore said best goggles for picture quality other than DJI, which I know digital just into the FPV. So, would love to know what you think. Well, you're asking the wrong person, John, because I only dabble with FPV flying. I just have fun. I'm not out to know what the best equipment is. If I can see what my drone sees, I'm comfortable with that. I don't understand all the need for buying $1,000 goggles and, $400 receivers and all that other pissy stuff. This drone costs like $120 to build, and it goes like 60 miles an hour, and it has a good camera on it, and it's, and then goggles. I spent $225. I think we bought these used. And then a transmitter that was donated to me, a jumper multi-protocol transmitter from a friend. So like I said, you can make FPV a cheap thing. You don't have to go out and blow wads of cash, but you're asking the wrong person just because I just have fun with it. I'm not out to find out what the best equipment is. So that's how I look at it.
And you said you weren't a favorite of the DJI. Is that correct?
I don't want to blow $1,000 on an FPV system, honestly. Yeah. I mean, that just seems expensive, especially when you realize the tech is really cheap. They're DJI, so you're paying for a brand name, Yeah. I don't understand. Ishin's about to drop their HD version of what the DJI thing is for like a fraction of the cost. And that just goes to show you that it can be done at a way cheaper price point in China and still get, I guess almost the same results. They're saying that they can almost get the same results as what, the other one is, but at like a $260 price point for everything. So, the only thing is they said that you will have to hook, your goggles will have to have HDMI, and they have an HDMI module that plugs into here, okay? And that's what's receiving that footage. So you will get HD, right? But you'll have to have it connected to the module that they sell with it. So you're going to be sending, this is going to be receiving the signal through the module that plugs into the HDMI port. So they'll have a couple different versions of it, micro, mini, and standard, HDMI connection. That way, if you want to hook it to a ground station, you can do that, whatever. But that just goes to show you that Eachine was actually thinking way outside the box. They're not like, well, you have to buy our specific goggles and our specific this. And once again, you get off proprietary into open source, you have a lot more fun. And that's where I like it.
Are they working on Wi-Fi, are they?
What's that?
Are they working on Wi-Fi?
Yeah. So it's going to be their own Wi-Fi signal, just like DJI. You know, it's like I said, Eachine's been getting this. I think they knew that DJI was going to drop this at some point. But like I said, they said their price for everything out the box, camera, everything, won't be over $300. So that's the HD module that connects to your goggles. That's the camera that you're running and the specific flight controller setup. So
I think Steve Carpenter recently got a set of nice goggles that would adjust for his eyes and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what brand they were. I don't know if he's still in here or not.
I didn't see him there for a minute, so. It's all right, Mike. I got to go rip this diatone around, so I'm actually going to get ready to shut this down. We've had an exciting 2 hours and 35 minutes already on the stream, so I got to go make some lunch and get ready to go to fly the diatone for the first time. See how that goes.
Still bright over there, is it?
What's that?
You still bright over there, is it?
Bright? Yeah, it's pretty bright right now.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
It's not too shabby. There's not
Looks
much
like it's rain here. It's only 40 degrees outside.
Well, I'll tell you what it is here. Give me a sec. It is. Let's see. I gotta clear all these.
Probably in the 70s or 80s or something.
Yeah, it's 82 here in Florida.
Nice.
Wow, yeah. Well, we're about 10 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
3 degrees. Oh, sorry, my son said 3 degrees. 3 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right. That's cold, man.
Yeah.
You can keep it. I'll let you have it. It's all yours, bud.
Oh yeah. Christmas is coming.
Yes, it is. Christmas is coming. No arguments there. So, well, guys, thanks for joining me, man. Thanks for coming on panel. You're more than welcome to do it whenever I drop the link. If you happen to pop in, you pop in. You know.
Great fun. Great fun.
And Mike, we can probably talk a little bit later if you're up for it.
Sure.
I'm going to go knock this flight out with the diatone and give my thoughts and opinions on it and see what I think, and then go from there. I got a video to edit. I got footage to make. You know?
Sure. No, I know you've been busy lately with moving and everything.
One more time, Mike.
I said, I know you've been busy lately, so I've been just cutting you some slack. I don't know, moving, getting out of the hospital. And
yeah, man, there's other things involved here. Like, for instance, my parents actually ended up moving 2 people into the back room that I moved out of a long time ago. So now I don't have a personal room back there. So they had to. That wall behind me is a fake wall. That's just a wall they put up temporarily. But if you'll notice, that's their room right there. So that's where I sleep. That's them. So at night, I can't do my night activities like I used to because they wouldn't put up with that shit. So, yeah.
Thought you were moving into your RV.
What's that?
Thought you were moving into your RV.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about it. And they were like, "No, you're not moving into the Airstream." So, yeah, man. As of right now, with the healing process going on, I've been pushed to my parents' house. I can't stay on Discord all night and talk. I have, unfortunately, it's between me and them is a glass door, and that's it. So, it's quiet time at night, Mike. Sorry, bud.
No, it's all good.
Circumstances.
Well, you can come on over here anytime you like.
Sounds like a plan. I think I should probably rebuild my life a little bit first.
Everybody's invited.
Rough year.
Invite you down to New Zealand, and everybody says, "God, Dan, come on over, man."
I know. I didn't expect this year to be so rough. Honestly, I didn't, man. This has just been hell. This has been a rough one. Out of all the years I've been in Florida, this has been the worst one. And then it didn't help that she broke up with me when I was in the hospital. Because then she's basically like, oh, by the way, you have nowhere to stay when you get out of the hospital, and please come get all your stuff first available chance you get. Even though I know you almost just died and like half your blood disappeared, and you still need to come get all your stuff, and we're not together anymore. So, you know.
That's only kicking a man when he's down. I mean, what the hell?
That's why I said I think at that point I probably was rock bottom 2 months ago because of that surgery complication. And then I think from there I just picked up a shovel and decided to keep fucking digging until I find the molten core of our planet, I guess. So, yeah, not much I can do. It is what it is, man. I was stuck with a series of uncontrollable situations, so... Anyways, I'm out of here. Thanks for stopping in, guys. Thanks for being part of the stream. It's been fun.
Great. Thanks a million.
Yes, sir. We're going to call it a day here. Bye, Roland, TCM, John, everybody still in chat. Don't forget to smash the like button. And we are out of here, man. To the real.